The following podcast is scheduled for one fall. Making their way to the set, it's Sam the Lionheart, and Raw is Warren! Hey!
Once again, the Schedule for One Fall podcast with Sam the Lionheart.
And Raw is Warren. Welcome back, Sam.
Yeah, it's
nice to have you.
It's been a minute.
You know, it's been about 15 days since we did some talking, and we had, with Deshaun here, we were talking a little bit about independent wrestling and TNA, who signed Damian Sandow.
I've heard,
now
actually.
Aaron Rex in TNA moving forward, so we might, I don't know, it sounds like they're actually going to give him some creative reins, too. Which is kind of exciting.
He can follow the simple formula that everyone has followed in TNA. Show up, denounce WWE, say you never got a shot, now you will, and then immediately get a shot.
Well, what's funny is that you
say
win
the title.
But he actually didn't say anything like that. He's been completely kind to the WWE when he talks about it post-run. So I think he's just like, I'm here to help the show, whatever. So he seems like an upstanding guy. I like the former Damian Sandow.
Yeah.
That really did kind of highlight a really kind of lame week in professional wrestling. I mean, we find out Shelton Benjamin's not coming back to SmackDown for a couple of extra months because he's got a rotator cuff surgery he has to get. Yeah, apparently the WWE physical turned that up, so it's thanks to WWE that we get to wait a little bit longer before we get to see Shelton back in the E. And it's kind of a tough injury to have at this age, you know?
Yeah.
Cesaro just got over something like that. Hideo just got over something like that, and they're much younger men. So could this be it for Shelton?
I mean, well, Shelton's got to take the shot, right? What is he? He doesn't just turn around and fucked up my rotator cuff. Like, I think you still show up. You do what you can, and if it's something that actually hinders him and allows him not to perform at his best, then there's nothing that can be done. You do your best, and it might. What I'm saying is I don't think it will ruin any of his chances.
To be honest with you, I think he's actually getting the surgery. He has to.
Yeah.
He's not going to be coming. So we have to wait until he's 42 or 43 now. Which, I mean, how much of a ceiling can a guy have?
But that's what I'm saying is I don't think, the timing throws it off a lot, but I don't think the actual injury is going to really ruin any chances he has to get over with the fans. Either he's going to get over because he still has that absolute dedication, work ethic that he used to. Right. He might not be able to run up the ladders or anything anymore and stuff like that. But I don't think that's what Shelton needs in the new era to get through. I think what he needs to do is show up and have that same tenacity, that same drive that he used to. That's what people are responding to. People are responding to wrestlers really say, no, this is my space in the WWE. I'm not giving it up. I'm not letting go. I'm going to fight for it. Even if I lose week in and week out, we can finally appreciate, as a culture, as the WWE universe, they're cultivating that plucky loser. They're letting us really cheer for them and reward them for that.
Well, I'm not going to say
sometimes they're rewarded with a gore, but
right. Gotta love Heath Slater's continued storyline this week. I'm just saying in regards to Shelton that it's not like I don't think we're going to get behind him when he does show up. It's just there's going to be a long recovery process. You saw it took Hideo over a year for him to recover from his rotator cuff surgery. Cesaro had a relatively quicker one, but that's because he's in crazy good shape and as youthful as he is, comparatively speaking. So I'm hoping for a speedy recovery for Shelton because goodness knows everybody on this couch was really excited to see him again. So good luck, Shelton. Hurry back.
Although it does open up a very wonderful lane for "ain't no stopping me" memes. Where he's just sitting there in the
sitting there with his hand on his shoulder. Oh, that's very true.
Ain't no stopping me in a hospital bed.
Yeah, he'll be back. But yeah, you're right. There is some comedy to be had in that. So, that's one of those things that I guess a WWE physical gets to find that not very many other, reputable health insurance provided, caregivers can discover, I guess. So whatever. Sorry that took so long.
Maybe he was hiding it.
Maybe he's just tough guy. So we'll see what happens with that. Maybe he thought it was going to be simpler. Hopefully he comes back, and it doesn't take forever. So moving forward, kind of a straightforward week in wrestling.
Yeah, no obvious swerves or anything. And I missed a couple weeks, so I had to sort of scrunch everything down and sort of already knew about Jericho Jericho, how it was
Jericho is
Jericho
awesome.
is how it's being pronounced. So I kind of knew about that before I went into it. So it's still not even like new and dazzling to me at this point.
Do you like the partnership?
Oh, I love the partnership. I don't know if it seems like fish in a barrel. It seems too easy.
Too easy?
It seems like it's just like, when Jericho and Big Show did it, we had both those guys for a decade. Yeah. I've only had Kevin Owens for 2 years at most through NXT.
Yeah.
I want to see him continue to rise to the top and challenge. I want a Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens title match.
Yeah, I'm
before
ready
the
for
end of the year. This doesn't have to be a WrestleMania thing, but if it is, I mean, who's complaining?
No.
But and I think it's you're putting 3 of the best talkers in the biz, and Big Cass ain't no slouch on the microphone.
No,
for what he
is. Yeah,
for his character.
Yeah,
how
you doing?
He can rhyme. Yeah, he rhymes just fine. His timing's pretty good for the
some of my favorite work
stuff.
Some of my favorite work that I ever saw from him was when he was doing his solo run before NXT really broke out.
Yeah,
but it was because Enzo was injured for quite a while. And then Cass did a couple of things that were really notable for me was his singles feud with Aiden English. And they had a lip sync battle or a sing off. And Aiden English is being all, opera. Yeah, you remember this. And okay, point is, we've got good people who talk.
Yeah.
And we've got I mean, can you believe the role that Enzo and Cass are on? They're the hottest shit in the WWE right now.
If you get to talk about having Sasha Banks in the bag and people aren't booing you out of the arena, you did something right there. He wasn't getting a lot of reaction because you could tell Sasha Banks is a lot of people's waifus in the universe.
Yeah, no kidding.
There were some guys.
They all love Sasha.
Yeah, there were some guys in the front row wearing legit Boss sunglasses. Like, hey, come on now, Enzo. Let's go back to the smack talking. Let's stop talking about my wife. You know? So, but he's over enough.
He's still over enough to get through it.
Like if The Rock came out there and said the stuff that he said, we would have been like, "Oh, Rock, strike 2, man, strike 2. Come on, we put up with that shit in the '90s.
How you doing?
Go fight Vin Diesel. Go do that.
How you doing?
So yeah,
he's catchy enough right now. He's forgiven because it's still so fresh.
Yeah, and I mean. It is a great team up. I mean, Sasha Banks and
what puts the Rocks? Let's ask this because you're a notorious not a Rock guy. Let's be honest. What is Enzo doing with all of his amazing mic work that makes him amazing, whereas the Rock is so annoying to you? I want to hear you vocalize this. I think this is an interesting thing to ask.
So the difference is that Enzo typically weaves his catchphrases into the story. Every week it's different. Every week it's very much topical, whether it's pop culture, whether it's and The Rock was pretty good about the pop culture stuff way later. Like post 2000, like closer to leading up to the movie deals. He started getting very, very pop culture. Something Jericho had been doing the whole time. Something even Shawn Michaels was able to do very frequently before being pop culture was allowed. So The Rock's, the other thing is that Enzo Amore's thing is not, so far, he's not been, alignment bias. So if he's face, it's always been face stuff, and he's always been face, so it's unfair to really categorize. But one of the things that always bothered me about The Rock is he's a good guy who comes out there and bullies Michael Cole. He can be face as hell and still beat up Michael Cole. And it's stuff like that prevents people from respecting Michael Cole even to this day. The guy's a 20-year veteran, and we all go, Michael Cole, every time.
I love it every time Kevin Owens trolls on him.
Right, yeah. We all love to see Michael Cole get beat up.
But the point is that Kevin's a heel, and Rock does it as a face, you're saying?
Basically, yeah. And we love it when faces do it. We love it when John Cena does it. Of course, Michael Cole loves it when John Cena does it, because they're part of the Three Amigos. So
Michael Cole likes to get the rub.
Yeah.
So, who's the other amigo in that?
I don't know. It's some behind the scenes guy, isn't it? I think it's a guy from the
like a Pat Patterson or an Arn Anderson or
I think like
Kevin Sullivan,
like a Bob who fucking wears a headset.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I don't remember. You got to watch. They do the whole behind the scenes thing on the network.
I have to watch it.
Yeah, it's the whole story behind where this come from for John Cena. It's him, Michael Cole, and his third guy apparently.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So.
Oh. Things you know.
Yeah. Anyway, so The Rock is, and I mean, again, Michael Cole deals with it. It's part of the business. He's lucky, he's happy just to have his job and be noticed, like you said. But at the same time, it's reasons why guys like Jonathan Coachman and Michael Cole, they just got beat up by The Rock, and everyone loved him so much that they beat up on Michael Cole. And then bad guys are beating up on Michael Cole. Mm-hmm. And then good guys who are nice to Michael Cole can't get over, So The Rock really threw the dynamic around. Okay. And it's the same 5 catchphrases, whether he's good or bad. Mm-hmm. And he's throwing them at people who don't deserve it half the time when he's supposed to be good. So I'm supposed to want to cheer for this guy. Yeah, he's beating up on this innocent little reporter dude who has terrible facial hair and gels his hair, because he's not wearing $100 shirt with the fucking buttons undone, Okay. That was always it. There's even, I can't remember, there's like a pay-per-view that The Rock doesn't even have a match at, where he shows up at like WWE Times Square and like punks Michael Cole on camera for like no reason. And he's a good guy at the time. He's a face.
So all of that is the reason why you dislike The Rock.
Oh, that's just one part of it. We're just asking for the comparison between the two.
So one big thing that I remember you were particularly offended by was last time we saw Rock and he was making his comments about Lana.
Yeah, I think that was it.
You think he delves too deep into the tasteless territory?
That was the strudel thing, right?
Well, one of many strudel things.
Well, right. That was the time, but that was the time when Twitter got angry at him, right?
The time when I think social media finally said, okay, enough's enough, Rock.
Yeah, social justice warriors got out there and retweeted all the shit.
All the stuff that he said anyway. Yeah, they're the reason why it blew up.
Right, and and times change, the business changes. I mean, nobody was condemning Vince McMahon, or at least, not en masse like they do now, like not fans were, when he made Trish Stratus fucking crawl around the ring and bark like a dog and literally just strip to her underwear.
Which episode of Raw was this?
Episode 191, okay. September. Yeah,
I know what I'm archiving.
Yeah, I think it was 90 or 90. It was it was well before Trish was a wrestler, but before she was a competitor.
Okay.
And so back then it was all good. It was part of the show. I mean, that's the boundaries that they were pushing.
How they crawled out of the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
Do you feel like now when Rock does it...
into the Attitude Era.
Right. Yeah. That's what I meant. I'm sorry. My apologies. But I mean, like, crawled out of the deficit against WCW. But now do you feel like when Rock comes and shows up and does that, is it like, paying, like, going back to the past and playing too much to that?
Yeah. No, definitely. It goes back and it kind of reminds us of, all the stuff we're not nostalgic for. We're not, I'm not nostalgic. I mean, we all love a good Braun Paynes match every now and then.
We all love the catchphrase.
But there's a point.
If they're used smartly.
Right.
I like The Rock's catchphrases when they're used intelligently.
Well, right, and that's fine, but he forces them in. Half of his catchphrases have a setup for it,
Which is fun.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, all that stuff.
Love It Doesn't Matter. That might be my favorite from him.
Right, but that's the most obvious one because The Rock just... Don't answer a question from The Rock. You don't take a handshake from Stone Cold Steve Austin, and you don't answer what your name is.
Is that really how you feel?
What do you mean?
Is that how you feel about those catchphrases and those rules?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how you feel!
Right.
That's the most fun I'll have all day.
It just... it's like the Randy Orton RKO out of nowhere. You just know it's going to happen.
I enjoy it. I love watching Randy Orton come in and RKO Brock Lesnar on Raw. I thought that was important. I thought that was... it was 2 weeks ago.
It's so gimmicky. Oh, well, I saw the replay.
I think it's a great way to get more hype for Randy, who's...
he needs it. He needs it.
You said sarcastically or no?
I said it empathetically, actually.
Yeah, I feel like he just needed that nostalgia, like a factor like a pop culture factor to elevate him. It's very true. And those RKO memes did it. So we got into this topic talking about the Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho dynamic. Tell me, I mean, do you think this is, you said we've barely just been exposed to Owens and we want more from him before he's part of a super team. So I guess what I'm asking
before he's part of of a team that, you know, just relishes in its own flavor. Like,
its own awesomeness.
Yeah, they just kind of sit there like, we don't need to even try. This is easy, and that's great. We love to see it when it's natural. But at the same time, I feel like it's going to lull him into a false sense of security.
Okay, so you want to see more out of him first.
A little bit. I want to see, you know, I don't want to see him as not a sideshow, I guess, but I mean that's kind of what you would consider it. It's that whole bit is extremely mid card is kind of what I'm thinking, and he was like on the cusp of really punching through. You know, they kind of forced him to stay a little mid card, purposely. I feel because it would just be a little too much too fast, and they don't want to Roman Reigns him.
That's true.
You know, which I don't think is possible, but they're still a little wary of that. They're still a little wary of just having Owens just fucking win everything.
Speaking of Roman Reigns, but I'm with you. I feel okay. Yeah, we'll talk about Roman in a second. But Kevin, I mean, I get where you're coming from. I feel like they've made this super pair, and I think it's the only reason why they're doing it is because I think the two guys can't wait to work with each other. You know what I mean? They're like, please, and they're like, sure, you're hot, let's do it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying is. You know, it's very much this is so easy we could do it in our sleep. Mm-hmm. You know, they're just having fun with it at this point. They're both veterans, you know, of the business.
Right.
You know, I mean, obviously Jericho a bit more than Owens, but neither guy is. It's not like they're pairing a brand new guy and Jericho's going to be pulling that weight or anything. It's going to be two guys who have probably never gotten the chance to really work together aside from, you know, 6-man matches, stuff like that. And now they're going to finally get to come out and be like, hey, how can we make fun of America this week?
They did have a one-on-one match, I think, at Beast in the East when Brock Lesnar came to did that. They actually had a one-on-one.
That wasn't a program, though.
No, it wasn't a program.
They weren't on the same side, you know?
Yeah, and Owens got the W. I'm always excited to see. I'm really happy with how much Jericho we're getting on this recent run.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad he hasn't bailed out. I thought when the draft came up, that would be his chance to, you know, see you later. But it seems like he's sticking around now.
And he's about to reinvent himself one more time. Mark my words. We're about to get one more just faucet. Maybe just the last edition of this iteration of Jericho.
Yeah, well, but
I feel like the character. Yeah. I can tell that Jericho just wants to keep adding more to this fucking, you know, narcissistic monstrosity. This completely, you know, neglectful of reality character that he's got. He's fantastic. Maybe
the best wrestler of all time when it comes to the layers he's added to his persona and how much he could change his. Just the brand of Jericho we're getting is so much fun. But it's still so insanely Jericho. He's never changed his moves or anything apart from adding the code breaker a couple of years ago.
So, yeah, except for adding moves and some moves he can't physically do at his age, maybe. You know. But he even reinvents classic moves, you know. He started doing, instead of the springboard dropkick, he would turn to a springboard flying lariat to the outside.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
He would just go straight over the top rope and out. Just insane, you know. He came back and he's worked his way. He's worked his way into doing spots that he never should have got the chance to do, jumping off the top of a cage.
Oh my God! Yeah, the thumbtack spot.
Yeah, I can't.
It's like he's scratching things off of his pro wrestling bucket list.
Yeah, if there's ever a guy who got a lifetime achievement award from like the artistry side of it, from the theatrical, you know, like best character ever award, you know, it's got to be Jericho.
You were just saying the one thing that he didn't do that was disappointing was that he hasn't been in enough first time matches. And then he's part of the Ambrose Asylum match just a few months ago. Right. So he's working on it.
Yeah,
and his idea was the Money in the Bank.
Yep, he
just so smart, obviously.
There's fun. And there's one or two matches.
So we just want to see Kevin Owens do more of that, right? Sorry, don't mean to step on that. We want to see more of that.
Right. What I want to see is there was a lot of times where Kevin Owens had that IC title, and I was looking at it, and I was like, this is, you know, he was going to be the guy to make it the runner-up title, you know, the I'm next in line title.
Absolutely.
And then he dropped it, and now it's not that anymore. And I don't know what to think of that.
Well, I understand.
You know, he dropped the title, and now I don't think it's...
Is it just because The Miz has it?
No, it's just that The Miz has it and doesn't defend it. He didn't defend it at a pay-per-view. He didn't defend it week in and week out. He doesn't fight with it. He doesn't even run a program half the month.
Yeah, he's been filming. That is pretty unwise to
You know?
I mean,
you went from big time, big fight John doing the challenge every week to a shitty placeholder champion in Del Rio to give him heat, and everyone saw through that. So you passed it off. You give it, you pass it around.
We're talking about US right now. You're talking about the US championship.
Still,
I'm afraid.
But it's still the same thing, And you pass that around, and you end up with champions that aren't on TV every week. You end up with champions that aren't wrestling every week. The IC title, that was Kevin Owens. He was, fighting every week. He was, I don't care who I fight, I'll fight anyone. He had programs with, I don't care who I fight, I'll fight anyone, Dean Ambrose.
Right.
And they just went through all this, like, we don't care who's fighting, everyone's just fighting. And then your hottest guys to hold both those titles in years drop them, and they do nothing with it. And those two guys move on to.
It's been a while since we've seen the Intercontinental title rise to a certain level where it's prominent, and I think it's because The Miz has been so busy filming, which is, that's a mistake on WWE's part. Drop the title to somebody who isn't going to be distracted by outside projects. But I like what The Miz has done with it. It's kind of revitalized his career. And
they took then they took it off, someone that people would like.
Oh, Dean. Didn't Miz get it from Dean?
No, he took it off Zack Ryder. So if there's,
that was so fast.
Right, if there's anybody, they did the whole, I got my WrestleMania moment, I won the title that everyone wants to see me hold, loses it immediately the next night, and then they don't do shit with it, and
they don't do shit with him except peg him with Mojo.
Yeah,
Sorry, pardon me talking over you.
No, it's fine. But if you're gonna just drop the title and not fucking use it, at least put it on a guy that when you do parade him around, people will fucking cheer. If they left it on him. My complaint would be that I fucking hate Zack Ryder, but every time he shows up, people cheer and stand up and knock the fucking house down for him.
For the most part, even though he's definitely winning the SmackDown Live most botches since going live competition. I mean, this guy...
Is this any different from before?
I mean, I know we've talked about this in past podcasts.
He's the white Sin Cara.
Yeah.
All of his moves are ugly. People
been a little rough lately.
Yeah, people are like, oh my god, he's like the ultimate fan. He's just like me. He collects the toys. I can relate. And I'm like, well, you can't do a fucking standing leg lariat.
I think... No, he slips right on his face. Look, I think Kevin Owens is going to be a contender for this WWE Universal Championship sooner rather than later. I think we're going to be seeing Seth versus Owens. We're going to be seeing... Roman versus Owens. We're going to be seeing Rusev versus Owens. We're going to be seeing one more Sammy versus Owens, hopefully soon. Cesaro versus Owens. We're going to see Jericho versus Owens first. We're going to see Owens versus, I think what I'm most excited about is the idea of an Owens versus Finn Balor match pretty soon. Again, at this level, I'm excited for that.
I know what you're excited for. You don't even know you're excited for it.
Owens versus Brock.
Owens versus Bray Wyatt.
Oh, I'm excited for that.
You want to see two fat guys wrestle strong style?
I love Bray Wyatt. He's not that fat, dude.
I mean, neither is Kevin Owens, but as far as wrestlers go, you're about to watch two fat guys wrestle each other strong style. Yes. It's going to be the best match of the night.
Yes, that's true. I didn't even realize that, but Bray Wyatt's style is pretty strong, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all fucking clotheslines. He throws his body at you. Mm-hmm. Kevin Owens does a cannonball and a bullfrog splash. These guys are defining, what is otherwise portly or out of shape wrestlers just flinging it. They're just using that size to advantage.
I love it.
They don't let slow them down.
You know me. What do you think of Bray Wyatt's prominent role on SmackDown the last couple weeks? I know you've missed a couple shows, but Bray's been the main event bad guy, even more so than AJ Styles.
I like it because there's so much that can be done with that character. Even now, he's changing it, he's molding it, he's growing it.
Right.
There's so much that can be done. There's so much that you can, just like The Undertaker kind of managed to be this big, ultimate badass dude. He had to reinvent himself about twice, technically, to really do it.
There was Minister Taker, which you would set differently. Then there's Badass Undertaker, and then back to the older Phenom.
Right, when people were kind of tired of the
Van Helsing Phenom.
Yeah, when people... There's a point where people are like, man, Taker's cool, but I wish he would go back to being, like, big, dark, long-haired, wizard guy. And in retrospect, when it happened, I was kind of like, man, we really wished for this, But at the same time, it was my age group had just barely caught that. We had sort of missed that,
Right.
It was
exactly.
There's a very small amount of time where Undertaker did all the big showy special effects stuff.
Yeah.
And he didn't even really do that much of it. The most I ever really got was the Kane pyro and then later Booker T pyro, and Dudley Boy's bazookas with China. All that stuff wasn't around him. So we didn't really get to see all that. So when we got to see it, it was great for like a year. And then it was kind of like, okay, you can come back with the motorcycle and beat guys with a chain. Like we're kind of over the same entrance.
Well, yeah.
But his in-ring style was always great.
Always great. Undertaker might, for me, top 3 wrestlers of all time. Right up there.
Top 3.
I'm serious. When it comes to guys...
When it comes to body
talking
work...
about reinventing himself and body work.
Yeah.
But, this isn't a top 10.
And if you talk about the importance of getting, like, a ridiculous character over...
Oh,
you know?
No, it's important for, I think, the E to have a Bray Wyatt right now because he may play his character even more believably than The Undertaker played his.
Oh, yeah, and that's kind of what I'm glad you mentioned that because I was going to say, if his whole character is based around, like, a fear mechanic, like a fear sort of, like, root of the character, like if it's supposed to be everything he says is some, I don't know, spiritual voodoo thing that incites fear in you.
He's a salt of the earth scarecrow. Is what I would call the character.
I have no clue what the fuck that means.
They should call him that. That's a great shirt.
Salt of the Earth Scarecrow.
Well, you know what the Scarecrow is, right?
Yeah.
The villain from Batman?
Oh, no.
Well, okay.
No, I know the character. I was thinking of a Scarecrow.
You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, I thought you were talking about an actual Scarecrow, like Children of the Corn bullshit.
No.
Because he's very much more Children of the Corn than he is
Well, Salt
Scarecrow.
of the Earth is like, somebody who's takes everything from the earth and makes it their lifestyle and makes it their he's very almost primitive.
Pagan,
a little bit pagan, yeah. Sure.
I can see it. That's such a stretch. I don't know.
And then the Scarecrow's like this Batman villain who thrives off people's fear.
That character.
Okay. Salt of the Earth Scarecrow.
I guess so. That's a bit. God, that's a bit much. That's a bit heavy just to take in. It could work.
Make the shirt.
It could work. Yeah, I don't think it'd be like a catchphrase. It wouldn't be like something you could come out every week and call yourself.
No, follow the buzzards.
Beware the salt of the earth Scarecrow. Nah.
That sounds so ridiculous.
That could be a
budget indie.
Yeah, that could be a good vignette. It could be if we clash, so we burn everything to the ground, and all I have is the salt of the earth to defeat you. I will
become the salt of the earth Scarecrow and leave you running in terror and fear.
I will engineer your doom from the salt of the earth itself. Yeah,
I'll clog your arteries.
Oh my god. Oh no.
I like it. Moving forward.
We should audition. We should write for WWE.
Yeah. Hey! That old cliche of anybody who ever does a podcast.
Oh, anybody who talks about wrestling. So WWE, if you're hiring,
Okay, what were we talking about? Okay, so Bray Wyatt being the fear character, being the scary guy. I think it's important, and I was saying that I feel like he's done that character more believably than the way Mark has done his Undertaker.
Right, and what I was going to talk about is that character can always stay relevant. Whatever is scaring people, whatever is. Fear is one of those things that doesn't really change, People don't stop being afraid of clowns. Clowns are fucking freaky, So, there's always something new that has clowns or has a clown-esque thing.
Have you seen those Facebook videos that people have been posting about the clowns? Like the creepy clown videos?
No, I don't hate myself.
Tag a homie who's afraid of clowns.
No. No, not at all. Okay. Well, our viewership just went down about all 3 people.
Yeah, I was about to say all 3 of our subscribers
all
are
3
done.
people. Yeah. No. But that's just it. Fear never changes. Fear is it's the same instinct. It's the same emotion. It's just you got to find new, clever, better ways to do it. And I think the farther he gets from those fucking vignettes and stupid cliche horror movie bullshit, the better off he'll be. If he can go out to the ring and actually be fucking scary and actually be creepy and ominous, you know, even if it's a live video backstage a la Mankind in the Boiler Room.
Oh, I love those vignettes.
Yeah, you know, that will speak more volumes than just him standing there in front of my two chums. Run, you know, like...
I mean, I love everything he's been doing to this point. It's still different from everything that we've got. And I like him being the foil to the top guys on SmackDown and kind of... I mean, the match that he had with Dolph Ziggler that we talked about last month, or that Sean and I talked about last week, was excellent. Great storytelling in the ring. That trend is continuing.
Right.
And then this past week, he and Eric Rowan, who's back in the fold... Right. Which I'm glad that they stopped avoiding that. I'm glad that they addressed that, and that Eric is still sniffing the cocaine that Brian leaves in his pockets.
Still drinking the punch. Yeah.
Him versus Dolph and Dean, and actually Eric did better in ring during this match that I saw, and great match as far as those crazy chaotic end of show tag team matches. And I like what they're still doing with the camp. I feel like this is opening the door for Luke Harper to come in and complete the set on SmackDown.
Or ruin them completely and face turn on them.
That would be interesting.
He would be, he'd come in and be like, look, dude, I was drinking the punch. I was on that shit.
Yeah.
And
I've had a moment
Bray
of clarity.
Wyatt's, the only problem with that is I feel like you don't let Luke Harper fucking bury Bray Wyatt, so I don't think that's the right move.
But they could get a good program out of it.
They could, but I don't think you want Luke Harper. I don't want Luke Harper to return to a loss, and I don't.
Oh, I see.
I don't want Bray Wyatt to put Luke over him, so I don't think that's the best.
Do you think they move Luke to Raw then?
Well, yeah, he should definitely go to the better brand.
Wow. Okay.
I'm
feeling like I'm enjoying. I mean, I'm gonna.
I just said I didn't watch SmackDown last week, so it's not the most fair thing. But part of my reasoning for not going the extra mile to get caught up on SmackDown, as well as Raw, is I look at it and I'm just like, okay, I kind of want to see Dean Ambrose. I want to see Dolph and...
Bray?
Bray Wyatt, maybe.
In a certain light.
Yeah, I don't
AJ.
I don't have to see Bray Wyatt.
No Randy.
No Randy, no AJ, no John. No.
I guess I can't be too sure.
Is there an Adrian? No, Adrian Neville's on Raw.
Adrian's on Raw. Rumor has it, fun thing that they're floating around is that Cesaro might defect to SmackDown.
Yes.
How would you like that? What do you think of this?
I want to see Cesaro defect to SmackDown. I want to see him hang out with American Alpha. And I want to see motherfuckers get tossed from one side of the ring directly to the other and then back to the first side.
I like the tag team division that they're building on SmackDown. I talked about that a lot with Deshaun last week, so I won't delve too much into it. But there's a lot of potential there. They've got a lot of good wrestling tag teams.
Well, I saw
most of the NXT call-ups are there too.
Yeah, I saw in Talking Smack, Daniel Bryan was talking about how they're just going to sort of cultivate that own division, see who really rises to the top, and then decide how they're going to handle the championship belt. They're not really worried about it yet. He's not worried about having a lot of championships. Things like that. Just mostly clowning on the WWE Universal title, which is still the only thing that's wrong with Raw is that they came out and went, well, we don't want to be better than the SmackDown champion. We're just going to have our own champion. I think the program very much should have been Stephanie McMahon going after that fucking title and working as hard as she can, just beating on Shane's door every day and saying, you give my guy a fucking shot. You give my guy a title shot.
100% agree.
And Shane being like, wait, hold up. We have our own title match. We got to see who's the best.
You got to wait in line, Raw.
It's a new era.
Yeah. You want to... It's true. And I think as a happy-go-lucky, I'm just happy that wrestling's fun to watch again kind of fan, I'm okay with the Universal Championship. I mean, I can't wait to see what the belt's going to look like. But on a deeper level, yeah, of course, I wish they just... Because storytelling's gotten good recently. They're telling decent in and out of the ring stories. I would have loved for them to use the brand extension, as I know we've talked about in the past, as a vehicle for that.
Right, and we talked about it earlier, so it's not super fair, but the match with Jericho versus Enzo Amore and Big Cass, and then disqualification... and Jericho walked away happy, and it was a face getting a disqualification. It was very different from what we were used to between 2008, 2012, 13, 14, 15, where the win mattered. Kevin Owens, I think it was, got nailed in the face, or I forget which one it was. No, Jericho. Jericho got nailed in the face by Big Cass and walked away smiling. Normally it used to be one of those things where I'd watch wrestling with casual fans like, so he's just beating the crap out of him and got disqualified. Who cares? They don't understand why disqualification means anything. They're like, why don't the guys just cheat all the time? If they don't want to wrestle, why don't they just get disqualified? And you seeing people happy that they win via disqualification is something you didn't ever see.
Okay.
If a guy got disqualified, a guy would get disqualified, and then the face character would be like, "Hey, you get back here and actually wrestle me." So it was very nice to see. This is like the whatever. But this is like the whole new era deal. I think where that matters. Big Cass in the ring and said, "Fuck this! I'm not letting you guys bullshit anymore." He took a stand. We didn't get to see that. We used to see face characters just lie down and take it when someone cheats and go, "Oh man, you pinned my buddy." So it's given us something to cheer for on both ends.
I'm showing that right now they're really making an effort to make you feel like the wins matter.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, and
even though it's a disqualification win, it still matters. It matters that they won, not that he got kicked in the face by Big Cass.
I think
it used to be what mattered is who got a licking.
That's where you're starting to see the new eras and the fact that the depth chart's a lot shorter now between two shows.
On both rosters, yeah.
Right, it makes more of a difference to win a dang match. So, I mean, I like watching the shows right now. I have missed Raw since the split.
Yeah.
I've seen SmackDown both weeks, and I've made it a point to enjoy it and just kind of sit back and take everything with a grain of salt. One thing I'm kind of excited about that's not... I mean, I know I talked about it last week, but this obnoxious Eva Marie character, I mean, is literally the best, like, female heel I've ever seen. I love everything.
Heel. At this point, you gotta kind of admire her just sticking to her guns, getting that real heat, and just saying, "Fuck you, it's a paycheck."
She had the injury angle 2 weeks ago, and then this past week she had the wardrobe malfunction.
Yeah, she came out. I was like, "Oh no, my titties popped out," even though she's got like the most obvious fucking sash tied up.
So funny.
And I remember watching the clip because I was watching the SmackDown highlights to try and get an idea. Yeah, and it comes down to the ring. And there's just this awkward strap. And I'm like, so that's going to be a thing. And before the match even starts, it's, oh no, it came undone. It's not even like part of the normal
girls
wardrobe.
Are free. And then that leads to Alexa Bliss picking up a birthday win over Becky.
Oh, she debuted. And
she debuted because Becky's like, I'm a fighter. I want somebody to fight. And Alexa Bliss comes out and gets the clean win. Also in clean win news in the Divas division is Carmella defeating Natalya in her debut. Yet Carmella still gets pegged as being one of the she's still the least exciting call up. You know what I mean? What do you think? Do you think it's wrong for her to be separate from Enzo and Cass?
I was gonna say, does she still do their bit where she comes out and goes, "I'm Carmella. I'm the Staten Island princess." Does she still? She
says stuff on the way to the ring. Yeah, and she's added to it. She said her new line that just doesn't seem to have much of a flow to it is she says some interchangeable schlop and then says, "And I'm always ready to go."
And you can't teach that? Or?
No, I can't teach that. Just like, I'm Carmella, and I wear all of these clothes, and I'm always ready to go. And I'm just like, you mean fight?
Or I don't know if Enzo
straight up ready to have sex. Like, are you kind
of... that's the point.
That's the point. And that's like, I don't know. Like, that's a little weird.
Yeah, I mean...
I'm least pleased about her right
I'm glad that they're not together, if that's the case.
Well, I mean, if she just showed up with Enzo and Cass, it would have been better for her. I mean, I'm kind of agreeing with other people's opinions online here, but I'm just saying, like...
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like it would have gotten her more momentum. I feel
but I also feel like it would have not let us get the Enzo and Sasha Banks moments that we got on Raw. So.
I feel like they just literally pulled her up because she was the next most passable diva aside from, the faces of that company of that division in NXT.
I'm just waiting for Asuka, bro.
I know she'll take everything by storm. It'll be great.
I'm waiting for Asuka and Bayley, and that's what gets me is that it's not a straight call up. It's not a like you said, we're pulling up the most passable, the most good looking, and we're still leaving.
I feel like that's true with Carmella. I feel like it's not true with Alexa.
See, I feel like the opposite.
I was ready for Alexa to go up. I think she was a better call up than Carmella.
Yeah, we'll see, and I'm weird on looks. I'm just talking about towards general populace.
I'm not talking about looks. I think
I was saying they're pulling up the pretty girls.
Prettier than Alexa.
I'm saying that for one, opposite. But no, I'm saying that Carmella and Alexa are more of the typical, attraction appeal to more of the general populace than a Bayley with her side ponytail or an Asuka.
Well, that's because I think what they need to do is they're keeping Bayley and Asuka in NXT so as to continue to reaffirm the female division,
right?
To keep it relevant,
which has always been the crux of NXT. There's a guy who gets really good, he wins a title, then he has to drop it and leave, and then you have to fill that gap. And you're stuck between, shit, we need to keep NXT strong, but we also need to call people up. So when you see Carmella getting the call up over Asuka, it doesn't seem right.
Well, it kept NXT
but if you
strong.
But if you leave NXT with just Alexa Bliss and Carmella and Blue Pants, what are you going to do?
Well, NXT's been building a couple other female names. Billie Kay.
Billie Kay, that's right. Yeah, that's fair.
Peyton Royce is another one.
I think I saw one of her
Liv
matches.
Morgan, who's basically another, Carmella having sex with Ashley Massaro kind of character. Literally, it's a Jersey girl who has the rocker shtick. Remember Ashley Massaro?
Yeah.
From way back in the Tough...
Yeah, Avril Lavigne, the wrestler.
Right. I'm, really not excited about Liv Morgan's gimmick. Everybody's all hyped for her.
Well, that's a cool name,
and then they're
debuting.
They're debuting Ember Moon, this upcoming... who's got this crazy
Is her entrance music Red Hot Chili Peppers?
No, definitely not. She's like this female ninja kind of character in the vignettes. You gotta look up these vignettes. They're ridiculous.
This sounds equally awesome and terrifying.
Then you've got Santana Garrett, who's floundering in NXT as basically a jobber when she was supposed to be the Sister Abigail, character.
What? They're really gonna do that?
There was a thought.
Ugh. I'm glad they didn't. I don't like that too much.
Let me see. Who else is the women's division in NXT? Point is,
the only way I like Sister Abigail is if Sister Abigail is somebody who is decrepit and wretched and doesn't really do anything and sits in the rocking chair, but they don't even do the rocking chair bit. So,
right.
Well, they blew that.
They decided to move in a different direction.
Yeah, which
did well in its future endeavors.
Smart, yeah. Sister Abigail can be future endeavored.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I know, and I get it. That's we're always to me the fan is always at a clash with the business aspect. What you want might not always be marketable, etc., etc. Basically, boils down to you can't please everyone.
I want NXT to not have a shitty women's division too.
Right. Exactly.
I look forward to those matches, and I'll tell you. That Bayley and
they've had
Asuka,
the best women's match in the last, I think, maybe ever.
Those two? Bayley and Asuka?
No, NXT does.
Well, yeah.
Yes, NXT has the Iron Women's match.
Yes.
I think it has to be the best women's match I've ever seen.
Yes.
Probably, it's got to be the best women's match.
And the match where Bayley legitimately won the title. Both of Sasha and Bayley's matches were the best ever. So they got to keep that relevant long enough. They got to keep it relevant long enough, so we'll see them get called up sooner rather than later. It's just they have to make sure they have a division to leave them with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The other NXT news...
That's how we got stuck with Samoa Joe versus Finn Balor for a year.
It felt that way, but it wasn't. It wasn't even all that long.
I'm going to do that research. If it was at least 8 months, I don't feel wrong.
Okay, you're welcome to. Your research. Samoa Joe versus
Samoa Joe's facing Shinsuke at the upcoming takeover, which
should actually be very enjoyable to watch.
Yeah, it'll bring out an aggression in Joe's striking that I'm looking forward to seeing.
Or you're gonna see some cannonballs. You're gonna see some knee strikes.
It'll be a good match.
You're gonna see some fat guy kitchen sinks.
Austin Aries will take on the much larger No Way Jose. Looks like they're trying to make this guy something.
I mean, I'm at the point now where every wrestler has the capacity, I think, to at least in the ring marvel us, dazzle us, put on great matches. Mm-hmm. You know, Sheamus had a great match this week.
No Way Jose throws one of the best right hands I think I've ever seen.
Right.
He's got a great looking punch.
Yeah. It's, I think that...
No Way Jose.
No, I was going to say that Sheamus had one of the best matches ever with Cesaro.
Okay.
And I was fully on
Raw?
I was fully on board for, you know, to be kind of like, okay, I don't think Sheamus can really, like, do anything that, like, impresses me anymore.
Right.
But that just goes to show you that if you don't put Sheamus versus John Cena and Randy Orton almost fucking exclusively, you know, or make him job to really small guys for, you know, again, almost exclusively for long periods of time, that any of these guys can do anything. You know, any of these guys can do any match, any night. They can amaze you. You know, they just need to be inspired to and rewarded for doing so.
One thing that I've noticed about No Way Jose that is a story that they're kind of putting as a wrinkle in his character is he has much like Festus, he has the switch flip kind of thing where he'll become super aggressive drop all of the fun shtick and then go out and
be like, it's time for some ass whoopings.
No, well, I mean, that's the Festus version, thank God. But no, he's legitimate. When No Way Jose turns on like the scary eyes, I'm like, okay. So that's
vicious character.
That's what I want to see a little bit more of. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with that feud. It could be an interesting way for Austin to help No Way Jose get some credibility.
Yeah, I could.
He's certainly more interesting to me than Bobby Roode's character, who has the best entrance music ever.
Yeah, it's hard to argue.
Glorious.
Yeah.
I will be there. I will be there. I will be glorious. I love him.
You should leave the singing to Aiden English.
Whatever. I love it.
We might have to auto-tune that and put it...
I think that's what they did with the original entrance theme. Have you seen the Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, Glorious?
Johnny Garganzolo.
Have you seen their video with Bobby Roode and they just keep on doing the Glorious? And Bobby's like...
No, but I have to look this up.
You have to see this. It is hilarious. It's, I guess, all over Twitter right now.
Yeah, I would assume it's making its rounds. No, I'll have to check that out.
Bobby Roode faces Andre Almas, or whatever his name is, Cien Andrade Almas. Who's
I've not been able to keep up with NXT. So.
Yeah, well, he's like
I tune in for Bayley and Asuka matches almost exclusively.
That's fair. And right now, I think that's just the state of NXT. But Bobby Roode coming to
I want to check
NXT,
these guys
that's
out.
Exciting.
I want to check these guys out, and I mean, I watch random matches every now and then, but I got like 6-7 hours of wrestling to filter through, and
which means you haven't seen a single minute of the CWC, have you?
No.
Oh.
No.
We are stopping this podcast to go show you this. Okay. I'm sorry.
I was gone for 10 days. I didn't even have service. I couldn't even watch it on my phone.
The CWC, Sam. This is everything that we
I watched one match.
Which one?
I think it was the Brian Kendrick versus his first round
opponent, Raul Mendoza.
Yeah, I think that was it.
And it was
Marco Raulo?
It was Raul Mendoza. Was his name?
No, the guy doing commentary.
Mauro Ranallo.
Mauro Ranallo,
yeah,
Daniel such a Bryan. Weird name. Yeah.
How'd you enjoy the match?
Daniel Bryan did absolutely wonderful commentary.
Yes.
The match was great. And then the Brian Kendrick did an interview afterwards where he revealed his character is a coke-addled homeless man.
Coke-addled him.
That guy's a tweaker, right? That's his gimmick. Yeah. He's a tweaker, and he can only fix his tweak with wrestling. Is that not it?
Is that what he said? Or was that the joke?
That's what it seems like to me. He's like, all right, I was here once before. And I had a chance, but now I gotta show everybody I'm real. And I'm just like, is this guy okay? Is this guy is this PG? Is this still the PG era?
Are you legitimately calling Brian Kendrick?
Look it up. Look it up. His character is a fucking tweaker, man. I don't know what to tell you. The Brian Kendrick's character is like a stuttering tweaker.
Do you think Brian Kendrick's a tweaker?
No. Well, I mean,
if
not
the
right
boots
now.
fit.
Not right now.
We are going to go watch some CWC
we will
immediately following this. That is the show to watch, guys. Best wrestling of the week came from CWC this past week. When
stands to reason.
I got to tell you, I won't spoil it for the sake of your non-enjoyment of it yet, but there was an amazing match on this past week. CWC was the first, or rather the second match of the second round.
I'll have to watch it.
And it was a high flyer versus a Japanese technical mastermind,
right.
And they went for about 15 minutes, and the whole thing was yet another glowing example of why good wrestling does exist in the E right now. So excited to share it with you.
Because they have a tournament specifically set up for, hey, let's bring in all the best wrestlers that we don't ever sign.
Well, I mean, there are some guys
they're trying,
in the first round
trying.
who are legitimately bad, as you'll see.
Right,
but
they're trying.
Still, it makes the guys who are great shine that much more, and I can't wait to share it with you.
Yeah.
And you guys need to go watch it. It is the $9.99 worthy reason of the week to go watch it, and I will say that it's been so much fun to watch. And yeah, Mauro Ranallo and Daniel Bryan crush the commentary and make you care on a wrestling level, which we don't hear enough of these days. So,
so to start
wrapping things up, absolutely.
So we got to talk about the two major titles being contended. Well, let's start with Dolph Ziggler and Dean Ambrose. So. We gotta at least talk about the big ones every week. I think
this is still. I mean,
they have to matter.
I don't have anything insightful to talk about when it comes to these two because I like the dynamic that they're building with Dean kind of writing off Dolph like everybody else is.
Right.
Dean's kind of the one taking the strange heel wrinkle to this.
Okay. Yeah.
With the exception of literally being the one who is like, screw you, authority.
Right.
So what? I'll just kick you in the face, good guy. They have a very interesting, like, screw you attitude to both.
They're both towing that tweener line because they're both so good on each end, you know?
Yeah.
Like, heel Ziggler, I think, is an absolute treasure of the company. But face Ziggler is fucking over. Like, Ziggler gets over, you know? Like
he's been doing better turning the corner into kind of a roughneck,
right?
You know,
that's what I'm saying.
Chip on his shoulder, Dolph.
Right, but then he still comes out, says he's going to steal the show, woos, and we get behind him.
He hasn't done that since SmackDown. In the last couple weeks, it's felt a lot more like, you know what? Just watch. Why don't you just shut the fuck up? Why don't you just shut the fuck up?
Right, he did have the one
Not
promo.
you, him.
No, I know. He did have the one promo at the end of SmackDown where he was like, I'm done doing all that shit, so...
Just watch and see what I do. I'll let my actions speak for myself.
Yeah, because he started going out there saying he's going to steal the show and then lose it.
And then Dean's like, nah.
Yeah.
No, you're not. You're not going to win. Like, straight up is just trolling.
Yeah, he's just...
It's a cool, like, you think you're all that? No, you're not.
Right,
kind of
but
thing.
it still is going back towards...
They're both tweening on each other.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, Ziggler's so good at both sides of it that he can... go in between, in and out. Whereas Dean Ambrose's character has always been just down the middle.
It's very smart for Dolph to be the guy right now who's getting the rub. I think it's important because
first guy in the new era to get the shot.
It's important.
Yeah.
I think guys like Baron, like who else was in that match? The 6-pack challenge. AJ could have contended, would have been fine. Cena could have contended, would have been fine. If Randy wasn't busy, he could contend and be fine. But then the other three guys, there was Apollo Crews, who's not obviously ready yet. You know, I think it's perfect for him to be challenging.
I think he's just as great as Baron Corbin.
Well, I think Baron's actually, he's got more to
Baron's
him.
got more of a well-rounded character now.
Yeah.
On the main show.
He's got a good moveset, too. He's really been adding some new wrinkles to it.
But Apollo hasn't had a chance to really feud against anybody yet.
No, and I think that's why it's good for him to be getting the secondary title shot against The Miz. I think it's more appropriate for that. And then who else was in that six-pack challenge? There was one other guy. Bray. I mean, I would have loved to see Bray versus Dean for the title. And we will get that eventually. But Dolph needed this, and I think they're doing the best with him. I have no other insight apart from that to offer.
And I'm excited to see the match because I think Dean needs a guy who can sell all of his flurry moves.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh my god.
When he just dives on top of him, you'll see Ziggler selling it the whole way.
If anybody could take the match of the night away from Seth and Finn, it's going to be those two. But it's not going to be easy.
Nope, and I'm glad you mentioned those two because that's the last thing we need to talk about is Seth Rollins with the amazing promo came out.
I missed it, so please tell me what made it stand out.
What made it stand out is he came out, and I mean, you got to understand there is a little bit of the unbearable fake Seth Rollins laugh throughout this, where he sort of laughs at his own jokes. Yeah, where he goes, "Are you kidding me? You're gonna beat me."
He really did that.
Well, no, but he does that. That's his only
Seth Rollins shtick.
Yeah, that's the only knock I've ever had on him on the microphone that most people get on him for is he does all this like cheesy fake laugh, and so it's very like high school theater. I'm the villain,
right?
I have to laugh after I say this, so you know that I just respect
so weird.
you.
I wouldn't put Seth as the villain right now.
Anyway. No, and that's exactly why this promo was so good because he came out. He cut the facest possible promo he could cut. He said, "I never got beat for that title." Finn Balor comes on and asks me, "Why do I get a shot? Why do I get a shot at this title? I beat Roman fucking Reigns. I beat the Roman Empire. Why do I get a shot? Why do you get a shot? You haven't even been on this fucking show, And,
sounds great.
Right. It's all 100% true.
How'd Finn do on the mic?
Didn't see him on the mic.
Oh, I apologize. I thought it was Finn who said...
Well, this was in response to each other.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they weren't like face to face or anything.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
No, Seth was completely alone in the ring, and I think that's when he starts doing all the awkward pauses and all the ha-ha-ha's. When he's by himself, he doesn't have anyone to play off of. So he did that, and that's what we're always looking for. That's why heels sucked between 2008 and 2013 during that very beginning of the PG era, the Orton versus Cena era. The everyone versus Cena era, basically. It sucked because all of our heels were shitty cowards that we had no reason to ever want them. We had no reason to ever think that they should be there.
Right.
Now you've got a heel who says, "Fuck you, I'm the best, I beat the best, I am the man. You're talking shit to me, you're asking why I get opportunities. I've been there. I've proven it. Why do you get opportunities? You're nobody. You haven't proven anything."
Wait, that sounds like it did great for both guys.
Right, and he's telling him, right, and he even started off by saying, "Look, I know who Finn Balor is. I've seen all of his stuff. He rose to power as he rose in the Indies as a different named guy. He went off on his name, Finn being Irish hero, I think, and Balor being Demon Master.
Right.
And he made fun of that name. That was the cringiest part because he was like, "That's like if I called myself Rambo Apocalypse." Rambo Apocalypse. Ha ha ha. Are you kidding me? Rambo. Like, he just went off. And I was just kind of like, all right, Seth, we can stop now. You're doing so good. Like,
right.
But then he kills it on the backswing, He finishes up strong and does, that was at the very beginning of the whole bit. So,
right.
He's like, "Look, kid, it doesn't matter how many titles you won in Japan. You've never been the man, so you don't get to talk shit to me." And the best part is at the end of the promo, and during the whole time, he's saying, "I'm the greatest ever, I'm the best too." He's doing all the typical, stuff you got to say to be the man. And at the end of the promo, you just kind of sit there and you're like, I can't actually disagree with anything he said. Mm-hmm. I don't disagree. You might disagree with the way he said it and hate him for it, but that's him being heel. But you can't disagree with anything he said. He said, "I beat Roman Reigns for the title." He did. I've been the champion before. He was. The only stuff he said that might have been things you could contest were he's like, "I did it all on my own," so like that, yeah. But that's the heel rub. That's the heel, narcissistic rub is I did this all on my own. I deserve everything. It's that power crazy mentality of I was always this good. You
know what really excites me about Seth being the guy on Raw is that there is no. I mean, it's that simple. He's the guy on Raw.
Yeah, no.
This is it. You got Cena and
I'm talking about face of the company.
Right. You got Cena and you've got even Dean and Orton out of the way. Yeah. Apart from the occasional Brock interference. I mean, Seth is definitively the guy. and he gets to be built on now. And that means if Seth's your foundation, Raw's a good place to be.
Right, and if it's one of those things where you still have John Cena to be that comic book character, that Make-A-Wish guy, that
on SmackDown,
superhero guy. Right, you still have that guy in the company that can still be that for kids. So he can still be the
elevate the other brand that needs the help.
Right. Well, my point is that Seth being the man doesn't stop John Cena from being the face that runs the place, as they like to call him every week now.
Yeah, that's a Daniel thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just kind of stuck. So, I think, people would say, I beat the face. So it's just, it's just one of those things where they have that John Cena character who can be the guy to the casual fan. He can be the one that everyone knows about. He can be that guy that everyone has his fucking theme song as their ringtone and shit. And you're like, I don't, you don't even watch wrestling, do you? Okay, well, you like John Cena. That's fine,
Hypocrite.
So, it is what it is, You're like, oh, you're a casual fan like John Cena.
Well, cool. You're clearly okay with Seth being up
But
there.
then you have Seth, who's like, when we sit down and talk about wrestling, it's Seth Rollins is the face of the company. Seth Rollins is the fucking man.
1 year ago from this SummerSlam, last year, in other words, Seth put on my favorite match ever.
Dude, just absolute classic.
His match against Cena that ended with the Jon Stewart interference was maybe my favorite match of the year. From I was so excited to see Seth come out of his own, and now he gets to do that some more because he's the guy.
Yeah.
How do you feel about
the man?
Before we
not the dude
or the dude or the guy or the man? Yeah, he's the man. How do you feel about Finn Balor being his first foil? Are you excited about Finn's position?
I am anxious. I want to see this. I want it now.
Good.
I want to see it. I want to get it over with because I want to know how good it is. Because I think it can be absolutely the best.
Yeah, I'm with you. Do we want to touch on Roman and Rusev? Do you want to have a good last laugh at that?
No, I don't.
You really don't? Just stay away from it?
They did a cake thing. Guess how it ended? Spoilers if you fucking, if you comment below how it ended.
They had a slice and enjoyed it together.
Yeah, you went smug satisfaction.
Rusev fed Lana romantically. And
they took pictures and there's a beautiful speech and everything, yeah.
Good, I'm glad it went well. All right, guys. So we'll find out who goes over next week. It's been a great week of wrestling. Go watch CWC as we're about to do.
We're about to go kill the CWC.
Dude, we're about to get down. This guy is so deprived.
I've been ready for it. I had to leave town for 10 days.
I can't wait to share this.
It was 10 days. Became like 12 by the end.
This is very important.
Long road trip.
Other thing, next week, prediction show. It's the go-home week for SummerSlam. We're going to have a great show next week talking about who we think is going to win. We have our predictions in mind already, but it'll be fun to see.
Next week, we're also going to have to talk about the CWC, so we might go a little bit over.
Well, we always go over.
Yeah, well, we don't even have a set time frame, and we still go over. So.
Yeah, so
hopefully this was a shorter episode.
Speaking of over, we'll see who goes over next week. I'm Roz Warren.
I'm Sam the Lionheart.
We'll see you guys next week.